So the collection is meant to carry on the theme of the brand. And the theme of the brand is to break down any boundaries and any rules that anyone's ever been taught in fashion. %90 of the collection has no buttons or closures and no zippers. So it's very much about origami and how it's tied together and held up through its different parts. And the collection itself, the duende collection, duende means a heightened sense of emotion. And it's about going back to my core, because that's where I get all of my inspiration and all of my ideas from. And the core of me is my culture. And although I was raised outside of Iran, the culture through my parents lived through me extensively. And I really tapped into that and tapped into Iranian traditions and Iranian art in order to bring this collection alive. So my dad is from an area on the border of Turkey and Iran. It's very northern Iran. And if you go through the villages, they still have coins from pre-revolution. Now these coins, they've sort of become a trend, but 3 years ago when I discovered them, they were kind of like a piece of trash that everyone threw away. They're extinct in Canada, so people just throw them out. But no one thinks that like 30, 40 years from now, when the population doesn't have the concept of a penny, how cool would it be to bring one back and be like, remember when? So that's what happened with these ancient coins in Iran. Everyone just threw them to the side. And when you go to this little town on the border of Turkey and Iran, they have baskets and baskets of pieces and bits, and like some of them are blue and some of them are red. They're so old, but they have so much culture and so much beauty in them. So I send my dad on missions to go get these for me all the time. And the poor man has to find a jeweler to put holes in them so I can sew them to clothes. And they just, I think they ground the collection. They give it a foundation. So last night at the industry reception, someone asked me how I make my clothes and what it is for me, like what is the process? And I said, for me, it's the equivalent of a math equation. The process to get to the equation itself, the design, is the emotional part, where I'm playing on my emotions, I'm figuring out what I'm feeling and how it would reflect in my clothes. And how does this feeling, whether it's a turbulent feeling or a smooth feeling, how does that translate into a jacket? How does that translate into a pair of pants? And once I get to that equation and I tap into my feelings for that, it then becomes just a process. You make the pattern. You either drape it and then make the pattern, or just go straight to pattern and make the sample, and then you come to an answer. And sometimes you hang the answer and it's completely wrong and you have to go back and redo your work, but the process is just a 1, 2, 3. The equation is where the entire emotions lie.